You see, some girls, they think, right? They think. It's just a thought, though. It's imagination that somehow they can masturbate or watch porn or have promiscuous sex and as much as they want. And it's not going to hurt them. Because you've seen, there's a lot of videos that guys make on semen retention. Well, where are the girl ones? There's a few out there. And they explain it. And I'm going to share too on it. Because I know about it, because I've had these conversations with women, and I've had groups, I've facilitated groups, and I've had girlfriends, and I've had higher level women where we would discuss this, and it's true. Like, it's important for any human being to conserve their sexual energy. The sexual energy is the most powerful energy that you can say a human being has, because it creates other human beings. Science can't create a human being. They say, oh, but you can clone one. That doesn't mean anything. I'm talking about creating one. I'm talking about, can you extract the 5 natural subtle elements, earth, water, fire, air, ether? Can you, Mr. Scientist, can you get those raw material elements and then make a human being? If you can do that, yeah, then I'll say you create a human being. But we can't do that. Sex energy creates that. Hence the importance of it. If we're not wasting the sexual energy, what's going to happen? It's going to be available for you to use for other things. Your work, your spirituality, etc. Now I'm going to make another video. You can see the mind, the mind's very clever. This is why these videos get made about edging. Oh yeah, you stimulate the sexual energy and then you can manifest, and yeah, that'll burn your nervous system out. That's a separate video. Conserving your sexual energy. This is what we're talking about. A girl gets replenished every lunar cycle. If she's orgasming and losing her energy, life worked it out to where she'll get replenished. A guy, it takes longer. It can take 2 or 3 months, depending on like how many consecutive times he's done it. So a girl gets replenished faster. That's when the mind comes in and says, what's the problem? I get replenished, like, what's the big deal? I can masturbate all day and night. Like, so what? I'm gonna get replenished. Biology universe has made it like that, so the girl has enough energy to have a kid, because God wants the planet to continue for a little while anyway. So what's the problem? If you get replenished, what's the problem? Why should you even think about conserving your sexual energy? It's because of the dopamine addiction that starts to happen when you masturbate excessively, or when you watch porn, or promiscuous sex is even worse. Women are very, look, women are the receivers, obviously. They're not the penetrators, they're the receivers. They receive, you can say, the karmic imprint or energy from the man much more deeply than what he's receiving. He's giving it. She's also giving it, but her giving is coming from her receiving. The guy is getting a better deal when it comes to receiving the energy on some level, sometimes. There's no absolutes here. It's very complex, and there's different angles to look at. Anyway, let's get back to the point. A girl's receiving promiscuous sex is the worst. She's what kind of cocktail of different energy does she have inside her from when she's having sex with all these guys? But masturbating is also bad in porn, or even if you don't watch porn, just excessive masturbating. Why? Because the dopamine hit. You start to become a dopamine addict. Dopamine's a drug. It's no different than if you're smoking weed every day, or drinking, or whatever. Dopamine's a powerful drug, hence the orgasm. Is it powerful? Yeah, especially for girls. It's more powerful. Got to make a video on that. Girls enjoy sex more than guys, because they do, because of your sex center is much more complex, a lot more nerve endings, and it's just deeper, like, you know, the orgasm is more powerful. So that's the problem with masturbating. You're feeling bad, somebody did something to you you don't like, boyfriend called you stupid, whatever. Go home, masturbate those feelings away. You see, it starts to become a habit. Because when you get that orgasm, you're not thinking about what he did or didn't do or what life did to you. You have a brief period of like ecstasy. It's like you just did ecstasy or something, or shot heroin, but you shot dopamine. It's a drug. So then you start to get addicted to that, and then it starts to burn out your circuitry. It starts to unbalance you emotionally. You start to get more mood swings. You start to get more tired. You're not so balanced in life. This happens with any addict, any drug. Anytime we have a dependence on something, some kind of chemistry, some drug, then our body's going to start to get out of balance. Now, disclaimer, if you can do this sparingly, yeah, okay. But you have to check yourself and see. You have to have enough self-honesty to really look and see, like, is this habit or thing that I'm doing making my life unmanageable some way? Now, the initial instinct is deny it. No, I'm good. And yeah, if you're younger, if you have strong genetics, oh, my foot's asleep because I've been talking too much, making videos. If you have a strong constitution, you're going to feel that probably less, the consequences of being a dopamine addict, and you're going to declare, like, no, it's all good. Even the opposite. You're going to say, no, this is making me thrive. Like, I got a bunch of energy. I've discovered, though, it's not true, pure energy. It's more like stimulation. It's more like adrenaline. You're just pumped up. This is what happens when you get into edging too. It's even worse if you're doing it all the time. I know, I've been there. So you start to realize at some point, hopefully, that you're like, you start to question this, and what I'm saying starts to make sense. You're like, yeah, I feel on some level, at least intuitively, like maybe I shouldn't do this. And then maybe you start reading books or looking at videos or talking to people who know something about this that align with this higher truth in you that you already know, but you need some support because your mind, the addicted mind, wants you to do the opposite. That's the mind's job. It's a junkie. It's like, nah, everything's cool. What are you worried about? Doctors say it's healthy. You should keep doing it. Starts playing that tape. But at some point, you don't buy that anymore. You know, like something needs to look at this. And then, even better, stop doing it. Stop doing it for a month and check and see the difference. Journal. What's the difference? Now you got a month and you haven't masturbated, you haven't watched porn, no sex. Even if you're in a relationship, just stop everything for a month. It's not long. Somebody say, no, my partner, man, he needs to do it. Well, I don't know, check your partner. If you're trying to do something positive for your life because you really want to grow and you want to see something, your partner don't respect that, like I wouldn't, if I'm with somebody, they got to respect what I'm doing, especially if it's coming from an authentic place. Why am I going to compromise for them? It's like, I'm going to hurt myself for you. I got to check myself, like, why am I willing to do that? So you get some experience with not doing these habits and you see how you feel. And then I think it'll be obvious. And then you keep going. Now, if the habit's strong, you might relapse. That's part of the process. You're not going to get this. We're talking about like biological instinct. We're talking about like balancing that. This is very strong natural urge we have, the sexual instinct. It's the second strongest instinct we have next to self-preservation. Okay? Strong instinct. God put that in there. He installed that software in everybody, talking about girls, so that you're going to want to have kids so we can keep the planet going. But it's software. It's not who you are in essence, your consciousness. Okay, getting into my spiritual channel now. If you want to see my spiritual channel, then you can go to Spiritual Renaissance. I have another channel. I have a few channels, actually. This is my newest channel because I wanted to try this out and see, like, is there a female audience out there that wants to hear a guy's perspective on this? If there's not, it's all good. It's cool. I'll let this I'll try this out for a little bit, and let's see what happens. So then once something inside makes the decision, actually the decision gets made for you, but when something realizes, like, this is actually important, I need to pay attention to this, I feel that when I conserve my sexual energy, I'm in a higher place in myself. This is good for me. You have sanity. You're thinking now with sanity. You're not thinking like from your addictive mindset, because that will rationalize and justify everything and keep you doing what you want to stop doing. But something's transcended that. You can hear the higher sane voice now. So you start to explore that and try that out. And then grace is with you when you do that. The universe is always backing us when we're in our truth. This is the good thing. Now the addictive mind is going to try to attack that. That's its job. You need this friction. This is the game of life. But you've got to stay strong. And then you start, and if you relapse, it's okay. You just keep going. And then you start to, your inner strength starts to become stronger. You start to transcend this. You start to meet healthier guys now. You see, you want to meet a guy that's not like looking at you for your body and face. A lot of girls say, yeah, I want that, but really you like getting the dopamine hit when a guy looks at you and gives you attention. It's like you want it, but you don't want it. That belongs in my edging video. I'm going to make a video on edging, and I go over all the different ways of edging. Edging isn't just you stimulate yourself to almost climaxing and stop. That's like the grossest level of edging. Not gross like ew, but I mean like the most surface level. There's more subtle ways that we edge. So we're gonna get into that in the next video. Leave me any questions you have. This is important. This algorithm's so slow. When you start a new channel, it's like, Jesus. I got like 10 impressions, meaning they sent my video to 10 different people. That's it. So it's crazy. So let me know though, any questions you have. That gives me motivation to keep going. I need motivation to keep going because I'm not doing this for myself. I'm doing it for you, wherever you are. All right, have a good day.